ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਕਹਾਂ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਛ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਬਰਨ ਸਕੈ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਗਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲਿਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਗਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲਿਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੋਹਰਾ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੀਨੇ ਬਚਨ ਜੋ ਸੋ ਲਏ ਮਝੈਲਨ ਮਨ ਔਰਨ ਭੀ ਜਿਨ ਕਿਨ ਮੰਨੇ ਭਏ ਭਾਗ ਉਨ ਧਨ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੀਨੇ ਬਚਨ ਜੋ ਸੋ ਲਏ ਮਝੈਲਨ ਮਨ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਪਾਵਨ ਦਰਬਾਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ ਭਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਵਡਭਾਗੇ ਹੋ। We are very blessed and we are very fortunate that we have this opportunity to come and sit with Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੁਰਾਤਨ ਸੰਪਰਦਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਖਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਦਲਾਂ ਪੰਥਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ and the ancient institutions of the Sikhs, ਇੱਕ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਆ, ਇੱਕ tradition that in the evenings katha is done of ਇਤਿਹਾਸ, that we reflect upon our history, we come together. So the Ladiwar Katha of Panth Prakash that has been happening previously, the Katha has covered the first Amrit Sanchar, ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਬਖਸ਼ ਕੇ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਪਰ ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੰਗੀ ਰਹਿਤਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ। Because the Khalsa that was created by Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji in 1699, the prasang, the reason for the creation of that Khalsa has already been covered as well, which was that it was created for the purpose of uprooting the Mughals. ਮੁਗਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਤੇ, ਉਹ ਸਮੇਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਜਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੁਗਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਅਤੇ ਗਰੀਬ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਰਾਜ ਦੇਣਾ। ਸੋ ਆਓ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ with great love, focus and attention ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਸ਼੍ਰਵਣ ਕਰੀਏ ਜੀ।
ਦੋਹਰਾ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੀਨੇ ਬਚਨ ਜੋ ਸੋ ਲਏ ਮਝੈਲਨ ਮਨ।
ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਸੀ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਚਿੱਠੀਆਂ ਭੇਜੀਆਂ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ had sent letters to Gursikhs living all over the world that the time has come now to take the Guru's Amrit of Khanda, ਵੀ ਖੰਡੇ ਦੀ ਰਹਿਤ ਧਾਰਨੀ ਆ, ਖੰਡੇ ਕਾ ਪਹਲ ਛਕਣਾ ਆ, ਜੰਗੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਜਣਾ ਆ। So Maharaj tells the Gursikhs that they should now become Tyag Pratyar, they should now embrace the path of warriorhood and set their focus upon taking this Raj from the Mughals. Hanji.
ਔਰਨ ਭੀ ਜਿਨ ਕਿਨ ਮੰਨੇ ਭਏ ਭਾਗ ਉਨ ਧਨ।
So Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਝੇ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਪਾਲਿਆ। ਮਾਝੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਪੰਥ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਬੋਲਬਾਲਾ ਵਧਿਆ ਆ। The Gursikhs who lived in the Majha area, which was Amritsar, Lahore and these places, they took to the path of the Khalsa Panth. And after that, Jinnah ne bhi Guru Sahib Ji da Amrit shakya, those who took Khande, Bate ki Pahal, those who took the Amrit of the Guru and walked on the path of the Guru, Bhai Ratan Singh Ji tells us ki unna de bhag jage, their great destinies were awakened.
ਚੌਪਈ ਹਿਮ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਪੰਥ ਭਇਓ ਉਤਪੰਨ।
And Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says this was the way in which the Khalsa began to spread. Guru Gobind Singh Ji gives Amrit to the Panj Pyare and from there creates Jathe of Panj Singh, dispatched to all the takhats and the asthans that go back to the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says ਇਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ 1699 ਦੀ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਪੰਥ ਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਬੋਲਬਾਲਾ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ।
ਏਕ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਹੁ ਹੋਏ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਨ।
ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ in the way that someone maybe watches their child grow, in the maybe way that someone would watch a plant whose seed they have planted grow. In this way Guru Sahib sees the Khalsa Panth flourishing and growing. ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। Maharaj is pleased in giving many blessings to those Sikhs who take the path of the Khalsa.
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸ਼ਸਤਰ ਫੜਾਵੇ।
ਤੇ ਆਪ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੋ ਮੇਰੋ ਨਾਉ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੋਢੀ ਰਾਏ ਅਸ ਖਲੋਣਾ। So these are some of the verses that we read in Aarti Artan. As is sword, Khalona means to play. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji themselves grew up playing with weapons. They were the child of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the master of the Tegh, the master of the sword. They were the grandchild of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, Miri Piri de Malik, the master who wore 2 swords. So that it was inevitable Guru Gobind Singh Ji as a child, as Gobind Rai, would be brought up in this way. But when Maharaj gets the Khalsa ready, when Maharaj embraces the Khalsa as their own children, Maharaj gives the Khalsa Shastra as well. ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਬਖਸ਼ੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੂਹਰੇ, ਇਹ ਦਾਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਚੋਲੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਈਆਂ ਹੈ।
ਭਾਂਤ ਭਾਂਤ ਪੁਸ਼ਾਕ ਪਹਿਰਾਵੇ। ਤੇ
ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਪੁਸ਼ਾਕ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ the ਸੰਗਤ would come and bring many lovely types of clothing, ਰੁਮਾਲੇ for Guru Sahib. ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੰਡ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਸੀਗੇ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਪ੍ਰਤਿਆਰ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ themselves cares for, provides for and honors those Gursikhs within the Khalsa Panth.
ਮਦ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਹਿ ਮੰਜੀ ਡਹਾਏ।
ਸੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਰਜ਼ਾਦਾ ਸੀ, while in Anandpur Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh Ji effectively spends around 18 years training the Khalsa Panth. So majority here ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ training ਸੀਗੀ, it was training for warfare. Because remember that period of time, if we think of the end of the 1600s, it effectively is preparing the Khalsa for the 1700s. We're in 1699, the Amar Sanchar happens, and then from the 1700s onwards, we have the siege of Chumkaur Sahib, we have the Shahidiyan of the Sahibzade, we have periods where the Singhs are hunted out of Punjab on numerous occasions, and then we have a time when the Singhs go on to do Raj. So, Hanji, so Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when they would train the Singhs, what Maharaj would do, Maharaj would sit in the middle of the Singhs, idda sare Singha pyariਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ Guru Sahib ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਬਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ। Every day Guru Gobind Singh Ji would present themselves in the akhada and watch over the Gursikhs as they would perform various types of martial training.
ਜਿਮ ਗੋਪਨ ਮਦ ਕਾਨ ਬਿਰਾਜੈ।
ਤੇ Bhai Ratan Singh Ji uses a beautiful example here of poetry, because when we engage with poetry, then there is a license there to reference and draw upon other traditions in a way that awakens our mind to the beauty of the Guru's acts here. So here Bhai Ratan Singh Ji tells us that in the way that Krishna Bhagwan would sit baraje hoye amongst the gopis, in the way that God sits lovingly amongst their devotees, in this way Guru Gobind Singh Ji lovingly sits amongst the Khalsa Panth. Guru Gobind Singh Ji lovingly sits amongst and amidst the Khalsa Panth and the Singhs as they perform their training of the day. And Aap Maharaj Mad de vich, within the middle of these things, Guru Sahib Ji would set up their own throne. So Maharaj ਜਿਹੜੇ ਏਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਤਖਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਸੀ, ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਸੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਸੀ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੈਠ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ।
ਕਵੈਦ ਕਰਾਵੇ ਸਿੰਘਨ ਦੁੜਾਏ।
ਸੋ ਕਵੈਦ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ parade. So Guru Sahib Ji would have the Singhs perform different types of martial parades. Guru Sahib Ji would watch the Singhs marching. Guru Sahib Ji would watch the Singhs parading up and down. Guru Sahib Ji would watch the Singhs carrying various types of weapons. So ek paase Maharaj Singhan nu ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਨਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਥਾਈਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪ ਆਪਦੇ ਨੇਤਰਾਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ।
ਕਿਤੇ ਚੁਫੇਰ ਦੇਖੈ ਖੜਵਾਏ।
And then at other times Maharaj would stand at a distance and watch the Singhs. At other times Maharaj would observe them to see what they're doing, to see who is strong amongst them, to see who is applying themselves, to see who is learning, to see how is progressing. So we know the word Guru means teacher, but here in very practical terms, Guru Gobind Singh Ji takes the role of the teacher of the Khalsa Panth by coming and sitting in amongst them, amidst them, training them in the art of warfare.
ਕਿਸੇ ਬਹਾਲੈ ਦੇ ਉਠਾਏ।
ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਹੁਣ ਤੂੰ ਥੱਕ ਗਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਬਹਿ ਜਾ, ਦੂਜੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਣਾ ਭਾਈ ਹੁਣ ਤੇਰੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਠੋ। So Maharaj would tell some Singhs, it is your time to rest. Maharaj would tell other Singhs, right now is your time to get up and train, you have rested. So in this way Guru Gobind Singh Ji was actively engaging in the daily practices of the Khalsa's training.
ਕਿਸੇ ਉਠਾਵੈ ਕਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਸਾਏ।
ਸੋ ਨਸਣਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਭੱਜਣ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਠਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਦਮ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਭੱਜ ਹੁਣ। ਸੋ ਇਹ what we find in this description here of Panth Prakash is Bhai Ratan Singh Ji covering many of the ancient training techniques of the Khalsa that Guru Gobind Singh Ji had them perform while at Anandpur Sahib. So we've covered regimental marches, we've now covered parades, and now we've covered sprints. Maharaj would have the Singhs run great distances. Maharaj de 5 kile sige Anandpur Sahib main, and then beyond those 5 primary fortresses there was many outposts, and some of the Singhs had the responsibilities of running between these outposts, carrying messages. So living in that environment, all of the Singhs had accumulated a great amount of strength and a great amount of fitness. And so ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਟੀ ਦੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੇਨ ਹਰ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਇੱਕ ਪੈਂਤਰਾ, ਇੱਕ ਸੋਟੀ। One is footwork, martial footwork that can be used in Gatka, it can be used in boxing, it can be used in other martial arts, because it is a very universal movement that we perform within Gatka in terms of our feet work. And then the other is Soti. So if we think of the environment that we have in Punjab, if we think of how rife Punjab was with conflict, if we think of the fact that much of Punjab was a jungle at one point and would have had many types of animals that people would encounter on a daily basis, then it was necessary to carry a staff, a soti or a salotar. ਇਹ ਆਮ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਭਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੋਟੀਆਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੜਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਕਈ ਥਾਈਂ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਭਾਈ ਬੋਤਾ ਸਿੰਘ, ਗਰਜਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਸੋਟੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਗ ਆਊਗਾ, where they fought in combat with 100 soldiers just with their large soti. So ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਨਿਤ ਦਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਆ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਆ, those who practice every day and those who have the grace of the Guru, then with a stick alone they were able to hold back many powerful armies. And we find this in numerous examples in our history of Gursikhs who would fight with these sotiyan. So ਇਹ ਸੋਟੀ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ essentially ਇੱਕ ਆਮ ਗੱਤਕੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਸੋਟੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਲੰਬੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਸੋਟੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ। So starting at about 4 foot all the way up to 6 foot. ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ benefit ਆ? If you have a soti at that length, the reality is an unarmed person won't be able to get into striking range of you. And even a person with a sword, which maybe has a reach of around 3 foot, will not be able to get close to you if you have a 6 foot staff that you can strike them with whenever they come into range. So easily, you will see even today some Nahang Singhs, they maintain this tradition of carrying a soti or a salotar. Maharaj would then have the Singhs perform all these types of training. Sometimes they would have 2 sotiyan. So ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਆ, 2 ਸੋਟੀਆਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਘੁਮਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਆ, to train the wrist, to train the forearms, to train your hand, eye, foot coordination. These are some of the benefits of Gatka when we look at it purely from a martial arts perspective that we miss. It is helping us coordinate all of these things, our eyes, our feet, our body, our breath, to help us feel more complete. And when we start to make some of those movements more complex by, for example, introducing 2 weapons, one in each hand, then it develops our abilities, because we think first, I can't do this, And slowly and slowly, slowly, as we start to do it, as we start to practice it, then we become more familiar in it. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji themselves brings this culture of learning into the Khalsa.
ਵਾਹਣ ਮਦ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਜਾ ਖੜੈ
And how did Guru Sahib Ji do it? Bhai Ratan Singh says, by we madh vich jaake khadna. However the Gursikhs would train, Guru Sahib Ji would stand in the middle of them. So I think there is a great lesson for us today, even in this, where we look at the many types of ways that we can obtain the blessings of a Guru by coming into Sangat, by coming to the Gurdwara, by learning Gurmukhi, by learning Kirtan, but also by learning Shastra Vidya, by learning Gatka, by applying ourselves to a form of martial training or fitness. These are also things that as we engage in, we should be conscious and mindful of, that this was our Guru's direction, and have the hope and have the faith that our Guru will give us blessings even when we pursue those endeavors today.
ਚੱਕ ਚੱਕ ਢੀਮਨ ਸੋ ਸਿੰਘ ਲੜੈ
So ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ, ਸੱਟਦੇ ਆ. Maharaj would make different teams out of these things. They would have them spar together. They would have them grapple together. This was the culture. We see, like in modern society, we very much idolize other warrior traditions, whether the samurai, whether the Spartans, whether the Greeks, and we look at the training that they performed. But here we see the Singhs performing, and we know that this lasted for around 18 years of time, a very intense regimented training regime within which Guru Gobind Singh Ji was teaching them themselves with their hands, with their words, and with their blessed vision.
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਸੋਚੀ ਖੇਡੈ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਮ ਜੜੈ ਅੜੈ ਸੋ ਕੁਲਾਰੇ
So Sonchi is a game that is like Kabaddi. It was almost like a precursor to Kabaddi. So ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਮ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੇਡਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ. If we look in today in our country, we maybe think the national sport is football, where everyone plays football, everyone wants to be a footballer when they're older, and this is a very normal thing. In other countries it might be cricket or the sort, but in that part of the world it was Sonchi, it was Kabaddi. Because look, what would happen on a daily basis if you're playing Kabaddi? One day you might get thrown to the ground, the next day you have to get up and face that person again. Not just the next day, numerous times within that same match. So essentially the sporting game that was being played every day by children in Punjab, every day by the Singhs in Punjab, it wasn't football. It wasn't learning to kick a ball. It wasn't learning to hold a bat. It was learning to grapple. It was learning to sprint. It was learning clinches. It was learning all of these things that would support them and their ability to develop as martial athletes.
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੇਖ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਕਰੈ
And watching the Singhs perform in this way, Guru Sahib Ji ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, Maharaj ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ. What does it mean when we say Guru Sahib Ji gives us ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ? It means when Guru Sahib Ji sees the effort that we are making, and the Guru is pleased by that effort. So whether we come at Amrit Vela, whether we come to do seva, when we do something that is hard, we make the effort. The effort is overcoming that hardship. But when we make that effort, we place ourselves in a prime position to obtain the blessings and grace of Guru Sahib Ji. And this is what these things were doing as they were training and performing these exercises in front of Maharaj. And Maharaj says to the Singhs that, Singho, I'm very pleased with the training that you have done. I'm very pleased with how you're progressing and the loving environment that you have created around here. Maharaj, we every day read many verses. Lakh khushiyan padshaiyan je Satguru nadar kare. That if the Guru wishes, the Guru can bestow very many gifts upon us. And Maharaj said to the Singhs that, well, I will give you all of these gifts. Name a country to me, and I will make you the ruler of those countries, of those territories. Hanji. So Maharaj of the Mukhaton, from their mukh, from their mouth, Maharaj tells the Singhs, tell me which land, tell me which country, tell me which territory you would like to be the rulers of, and I will bless you individually with these lands and territories. Whether it's a country, whether it's an island, whether it is a place ruled by someone else just now, that if you so desire it, then I will give it to you. Guruan de jede bachan si, remember, and jinna ne nahi katha suni, if you have not heard Pand Prakash katha yet, The episodes so far are online on the Khalsa Panth UK YouTube page and SoundCloud page. And in that katha, if we go back a few prasang, remember when Babur, the Mughal emperor, comes into Hindustan, he seeks the blessings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji blesses Babur to have Raj of Hindustan. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells Babur that if you commit atrocity or your descendants commit atrocity, we will give Shahidi and take that Raj back. And then this is the prasang of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, which is also covered. So where the Gurus have this gift then, as God incarnate on this earth, as the incarnate, the manifestation of the one true sovereign beings, ਇਹ ਦਾਤਾਂ ਲੱਖ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ, ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਦਾਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ। ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਾਤਾਂ, ਲਓ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ, ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੁਲਕ।
ਜਹਾਂ ਜਹਾਂ ਤੁਮਰੋ ਮਨ ਪਤੀ ਆਏ,
whatever your mind pleases, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਣਗੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖਣਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਇਲਾਕਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਗੋ।
ਸੌ ਸੌ ਤੁਮ ਦਇਓਗੇ ਲਾਏ।
And Maharaj tells the Singhs that whatever you ask for, I will give you now, because you have greatly pleased me.
ਸੁਨਤ ਬਚਨ ਗਿਰ ਨੇਰੇ ਪਏ।
And Bhai Ratan Singh Ji tells us that on that occasion, those Gursikhs who were near Guru Gobind Singh Ji and now hear that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is offering these great blessings to the Gursikhs, the Sikhs around Maharaj now speak.
ਚਾਹੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਅਬ ਹਮ ਮਲ ਲਏ।
Singh ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਮਲ ਲਈਏ। So here Maharaj Sache Patsha Ji is talking about the whole world. Maharaj is talking about a great sense of adventure for the Khalsa Panth. Maharaj is talking about this beej of Sikhi that Guru Nanak Dev Ji came and spread in this form of the Khalsa that Guru Gobind Singh Ji has given it. Guru Gobind Singh Ji now wants to spread this all over the world and have the Sikhs in powerful dominant positions ruling all over the world. And when we speak of ruling or we speak of Khalsa Raj, and remember all of these are topics covered in previous versions of previous episodes rather of the Panth Prakash Katha. We're not talking about some fundamentalist extremist type of rule. We're talking about the Raj of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. We're talking about the Halemi Raj. We're talking about the Raj Char Varan Ek Varan Karaun Vaheguru Singh Ko Naam Japao, where caste discrimination is eradicated. We're all meditate and vibrate upon the frequency of the one true Lord. Nanga Pukha Rahe Na Koi. And what is the responsibility of those who assume the role of leadership is to ensure that within their rule no one is hungry and no one is without shelter, no one is without clothing. So Rajya, this is what rule is, and it is righteous for the Khalsa to strive towards this.
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਹਿਓ ਮੰਗੋ ਦੇਸ ਭਲ ਦੱਖਣ।
Maharaj said ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ 'ਚ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ, that we are living in Punjab already, ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਖਣ ਵੱਲ, ਦੱਖਣ is the south. So Maharaj says ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੰਗ ਲਓ ਕੋਈ, ਵੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we were born here. There's no great sense of adventure in saying, well, I'm not interested in the rest of the world, I would rather just settle from my hometown. But it also gives an indication of the mentality of the Sikhs at the time. They were simple people. They were people of rural backgrounds. They were people who didn't have these great vast ambitions and desires. They were people who were satisfied with less. Hanji.
Mango pahad aao purv pachchama.
If you don't want something in the south, Maharaj says, that take something in the north, in the pahadi ilake. Take something in the west. Take something in the east. Pick a direction, even if you do not know the names of towns or places. Just tell me which direction you wish to spread forth in and establish your rule in, and I will give you that.
ਸਿੰਘ ਕਹੈ ਹਮ ਦੂਰ ਕਿਮ ਜਾਵੈ।
ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, Maharaj, these places all sound very, very far away. How would we even get to such places, let alone take armies to these places where we would then be able to overcome any bad people or unrighteous rulers at these places, such to establish our own rule? ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇੰਨੀ ਦੂਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਔਖਾ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ।
ਮਦ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਹੈ ਰਾਜ ਕਮਾਵੈ।
ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਰਾਜ ਦਿਓ। The Gursikhs say to Maharaj, Maharaj, we do not know of these distant, far away places that you speak of, and nor do we have much desire to travel such long distances. That can we not just establish our rule within Punjab?
ਮੁੜ ਮੁੜ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਹੋ ਮੰਗੈ ਪੰਜਾਬ।
And ਵਾਰ ਮੁੜ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ Maharaj is now trying to explain to the Singhs, you know, that ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਵਧੂਗੀ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਸਮਾਂ ਆਇਆ। ਪਰ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। Over and over again, as Guru Gobind Singh Ji tries to deliberate with the Gursikhs, the Singhs come back to Maharaj and say, we only want to rule in Punjab.
ਆਪਸ ਮੈਂ ਲੜ ਹੋਣ ਖਰਾਬ।
ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਆ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ as the 10th form of Akal Purkh is the manifestation of the Lord on earth at that time, in the way that Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the manifestation of Lord at this time. ਤੇ nothing happens out with of this. ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਭੜਕ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Sometimes as a community, when hardship befalls upon us, we get very worried, we get very anxious. We forget ਵੀ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਆ, that everything is happening as per the will, as per the hukum of Guru Granth Sahib Ji that we read every day in Japji Sahib, ਕਿ ਹੁਕਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਖੇਡ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮਾਂ 'ਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ that if you want Punjab fine, ਪਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਬਚਨ ਆ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੜਦੇ ਰਹੋਗੇ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ says by staying in Punjab now I will grant you your wish, but actually Punjab is too small for you and you will end up just fighting one another over Punjab. ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਹੈ ਮੰਗੋ ਜਗੀਰ ਕਲੇਰੀ।
Maharaj says, so I endeavor you one last time now, ask for some distant lands far away, ask for some glorious places, embark on some sense of adventure around the world to establish the Guru Sikhi there. Hanji.
ਜਿਤਨੀ ਚਾਹੋ ਸੋ ਲਿਹੋ ਘੇਰੀ।
Maharaj says, and however much you want, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਨੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘੇਰ ਲਓ। however much space you want, whichever territories you want, we can take all of these over now. ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਰੀਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁ ਪਚੈ।
ਸੋ ਸ਼ਰੀਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਾਚੇ ਤਾਏ ਦੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰੀਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। So Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says they were caught up in this. They were caught up in their families, not necessarily in a positive way, but caught up in their families in some ways of personal enmities, right? That if we become rulers of our pind, we ਆਪਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਚਾਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਾਂਗੇ, ਵੀ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ, ਫੇਰ ਤਾਏ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਕੌਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ almost there's a very powerful lesson in this, and so many powerful lessons come up in Katha, one of which is, on one hand, these Singhs have a great opportunity to obtain anything that the Guru is asking of them, but they have limited their own ambitions by the enmity they harbored with their own people, with their own families, with their own people of their own villages, where in their minds they only wanted to go back to their own villages and become rulers due to whatever frictions they had with their own extended family members, and were not inclined to accepting the direction that Guru Sahib Ji was giving them to in fact spread out away from Punjab.
ਕਹੈ ਲਵੈ ਬਦਲੇ ਹਮ ਸੱਚੈ।
ਇਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿੰਡ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਦਲੇ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ, that whoever has wronged us within our pind, whatever family feuds or disputes that we have, now that we are strong, now that we are armed, now that we are powerful, and now that you are blessing us with these boons of sovereignty, we will go back to our village and take revenge and show our families how strong we have become.
ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਕੇ ਨੇੜੇ।
ਵੀ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ, that we will take the places near our villages, we will take our towns. ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਦੂਰ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ, ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਦਾਤਾਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ।
ਚਾਹੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਹਮ ਸੋ ਲੈ ਘੇਰੇ। ਵੀ
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੱਡੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਘੇਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ is telling them that you can have entire countries, you can go to distant lands, but no, they decline these, asking instead just for the rule of Punjab.
ਉਤੇ ਗਰੀਬਨ ਕੇ ਵਾਹ ਜਾਏ।
ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਰੀਬ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੀਗੇ। So some of these Gursikhs tell Maharaj they just want Punjab, but now Maharaj opens up the conversation to other Gursikhs that are in the presence of Maharaj. Hanji. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji tells us that the thinking of the Gursikhs at that time was not long-sighted. It was very short-sighted, where we look towards our history, we look towards our personal disputes. We don't elevate ourselves beyond this to then look at the infinite possibilities that exist for us within this life, because we're so stuck in previous cycles. And this is what we see essentially being manifest here, where the Khalsa is being given the potential for almost unlimited growth, but in their minds, the first thing they want to do is resolve some of the historical disputes that they have instead. Hanji.
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਸਰੀਕ ਸਰੀਕੀ ਢਿਗ ਢਿਗੈ ਮੰਗੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੈ ਪਾਸ.
So Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says, unfortunately, we ਇਹ ਸ਼ਰੀਕਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਰੌਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਸ ਕੇ, ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੌਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਸ ਕੇ, family disputes and such matters, caught up in these things. Instead, they ask only for the rule of Punjab. And Guru Sahib Ji tells them that, well, you can have the rule of Punjab, but unfortunately, you will forever be fighting one another over that, because you were meant to rule the world. You were meant to spread all over the world. You were meant to each have your own independent territories. And now all of you want to confine yourselves to a very small space. That is inevitable. You will be fighting with one another there.
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਲਾਇਤਾ ਵਹਿ ਕਰੈ ਨਾ ਉਨਕੀ ਖਾਸ.
So vilayat means foreign or even European. The word is used a lot. ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਧਰਤੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਰਾਜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਵਿਲਾਇਤ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ, but ਨਹੀਂ, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਆ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ. But the Singhs decline this and ask only for Punjab.
ਚੌਪਈ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਉਨ ਕੋ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਮ ਝਗੜ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰਹਿਓ.
ਸੋ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਝਗੜਦੇ ਰਹੋਗੇ. ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ. That staying in Punjab, you will forever be in a state where you fight one another. And this is our history. This is our recent history. We only need to look back at the last 300 years to find every time that our community has grown, that they inevitably are undermined from within our own ranks. So, ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ, ਇਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ. This is something for us to learn from. But I think whenever we see any situation in the world manifesting that shakes us from our faith, when we see a situation that makes us feel afraid, we take some solace in knowing that actually the times that we are in are the times that were foretold by the Guru. The times that we were in are the times that are happening at the current time due to the bachan that Maharaj said Sabai, due to whatever the Guru has said, that is now happening. So, and then those other Gursikhs who were close to Maharaj at that time came to speak to Maharaj, hearing that Maharaj had given these offers to other Gursikhs. Then these Gursikhs say, Maharaj, well, we like the sounds of faraway, distant foreign lands, that tell us about these, and will you extend these same blessings to us, because we too are your pure Sikhs.
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਗੁਰਬਿਲਾਸ ਮਦ ਬਹੁ ਲਿਖੀ ਸੋ ਹਮ ਸੂਚ ਲਿਖਾਏ.
So Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says that the rest of this history covering the chapter or the period of Guru Sahib Ji's life in Anandpur Sahib is written within the Gurbilas Padshahi Dasmi of Bhai Sukha Singh Ji, and Bhai Ratan Singh Ji has written this very briefly. So the basis of Bhai Ratan Singh Ji's Panth Prakash is in telling the history of the Panth, where the history of the Gurus at this time was previously written in Granths like Gurbilas Padshahi Dasmi. Bhai Ratan Singh Ji refers to that directly and draws on it as and when need be. And here he says that the period of time that Guru Sahib Ji was in Anandpur Sahib with the Khalsa, he has only said it in a sukham, a very small form. And if we want to know that history in more detail, then we should look to Gurbilas Padshahi Dasmi.
ਜੋ ਸੂਚੀ ਸੀ ਸੁਖ ਸਿੰਘੈ ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਹੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਗਟਾਏ.
Whichever matter Bhai Ratan Singh Ji thought had not been elucidated upon in much detail, or new information had come to light, Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says, I have only added, I have only given context to that alone. Hanji.
ਚੌਪਈ ਜਿਸ ਕੋ ਹੋਏ ਸਭ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਲੋਰ.
ਦੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਆ ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਗ ਦੀ, ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ, anyone who wants to know that history in more detail, ਹਾਂਜੀ.
ਸੋ ਲੇਵੈ ਗੁਰਬਿਲਾਸ ਹੈ ਟੋਰ.
ਭਾਈ ਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਗੁਰਬਿਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਓ. ਦੇਖੋ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਆ, ਦੂਜੇ ਗਲਤ ਆ. ਇਹ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਭਾਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੂਖਮ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਆਪਣੀ ਤਾਂ ਬੁੱਧੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਹੋਰ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੋ। So they're not trying to say someone else is wrong, we are right. They're saying actually, well, we are humble. We only have limited intellect. This is how much we have been able to share. If you want to know more, then you can look at these sources as well. And ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਹੋਰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਵੇਖੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪਹਾੜੀ ਰਾਜੇ the hill chiefs attacked Guru Sahib and numerous times that Guru Sahib is in conflict. So these episodes are entirely missed out from Panth Prakash. They are covered in Guru Bilas Padshah Dasmi as an earlier source, and then later in the Suraj Prakash. But Bhai Ratan Singh Ji tells us that these exist but are not present within his own Granth. And then how the Pahadi Raje also suffered as a result. Where are these 52 hill kings that once were predominant? Who knows any of their names, their ancestors' names, of the likes of Kesari Chand, the Bhim Chand, all of these great mighty kings who had powerful empires all over northern India. Today none of them have much shape, form to show for what great dynasties they once were. But the history of them is told within the Gur Bilas of Bhai Sukha Singh. Whichever parts Bhai Sukha Singh had left out, Bhai Ratan Singh Ji writes them within Panth Prakash. Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says that this katha is actually great, it is vast, it is beyond our ability to understand and narrate, because we are effectively trying to understand the miraculous happenings on this earth at the time that Guru Gobind Singh Ji was here. Everything that the Guru made manifest, the times that they brought about, the revolution that they brought about, the transformation in hundreds of thousands of individuals that they brought about. When we start to try to bring that down just to some verses and explanations, it doesn't work. It is beyond all of these things. All we are trying to do is give like a peeking hole into history, give you a little perception, give you a small window by which you can start to now pierce into and look into to seeing what Gursikhi was like in the 1700s. And Bhai Ratan Singh Ji says, I've only been able to write what I've been able to write according to the limited intellect that I have. And I am not able to give lots of information on this, only focusing instead on that information that is missing from other Granths. According to the intellect that I have. So according to the intellect that I have, according to the research that I have done, according to the stories that I was told, because remember Bhai Ratan Singh Ji's version of history comes from his granddad, Bhai Mehtab Singh, Bhai Rai Singh. All of these great Gurmukh Pyare who were central figures of the Khalsa Panth in the 1700s, Bhai Ratan Singh Ji grew up hearing stories from all of these Gursikhs that they have given in the form of this Granth for us to read centuries later. And this is the Katha of the Singhs. This is how Bhai Ratan Singh Ji came to learn of it. And O Gursikhs, O Gurmukhs, Bhai Ratan Singh Ji endeavours us to listen to this Katha, to learn of the history of the Gursikhs. Babaniyan, Kahaniyan, Put Suput Karen. The role of us as Gursikhs is to learn, read and listen to this history. So whereas Maharaj had earlier spread Sikhi, and we know that the Singhs from Majha, the Amritsar, Lahore area had taken to it, Guru Sahib Ji gives them the Upadesh, the teaching that they are to carry on spreading Sikhi in this way. Maharaj says we Khalsa nu vadai chalo, jado Khalsa vad gaya vi aapa jang jod fir cherange. So Maharaj says carry on growing the Khalsa, carry on increasing the power and the might of the Khalsa, and once we are sufficient strength, then we will pick our battles that we want to fight. So ithe katha di samapti hai. Hoiyan bhul jo ko maaf karo ji. Hun Bhai Sahib ji kirtan karnge, us to uprant Rehra Sahib aarti aarte de jaap honge. ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਜੁੜ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ ਲਾਉਣੀਆਂ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ। ਆਓ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ 5 ਵਜੇ ਕਥਾ ਆਰੰਭ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ ਭਰ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਰਵਣ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਥਾ। ਹੋਈਆਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਚੁੱਕ ਮਾਫ। ਆਓ ਦੋ ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਜੀ।
ਦੋਹਰਾ ਆਓ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਆਗਿਆ ਦਈ ਮਝੈਲਨ ਕੋ ਸਮਝਾਏ। ਪ੍ਰਥਮ ਵਧਾਇਓ ਖਾਲਸੈ ਫਿਰ ਦਈਓ ਦੰਗੋ ਮਚਾਏ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਜਕਾਰੇ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਿਹਾਲੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭਾਵੇ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ